Alrighty, welcome back everybody once again to another exciting evening of Duo Esports action. Joining me today in the casting booth is none other than Solar Phoenix support 5-3, and I am your play-by-play tonight, VillianInGlasses. How are we doing tonight, Pablo?
I am feeling fantastic. Ready to watch some GPCS games actually to start out this evening. You and me are doing 2 tonight.
Indeed we are.
First up we have Primal Radiance versus MG Waves. 2, in my opinion, and we have a little bit of a Q dodge.
Client issue, it looks like.
That's fine.
Sorted out. Now, MG Waves does lose a ban because they had a member that was late to the games tonight. It looks like Coconuts went off the line, so we'll see. Nuffy's is still in here, so they still have internet, so we'll see when she gets back in here. But talking about some of these two teams, I have a clear bias towards one of these teams, Pablo, but what are your thoughts on them?
So, when I was making my power rankings, as everyone saw in the Daily Duo, I was looking at these two teams. These are two teams that I think both of them can make playoffs. I think both of them are very capable of getting into the playoff seed. That being said, Dragon Division does have some higher rated teams at the top. I personally think MG Waves is a better statted team than Primal Radiance. However, Primal Radiance had a poor showing against Crow Gaming in their preseason matches, so I don't want to give them too much slack from that. I think they can still win this.
We did see Crow looked a little bit shaky yesterday against Pawn Sacrifice Black in their opening game, so we'll see if they can bounce back today. It's a bit of a mishap last night, but like I mentioned, clear bias towards some of the players in this team. I have plenty of experience playing with Tommy 2-Time and Peanut on Pawn Sacrifice White, top 4 team last split, and I played with Coconuts previously on a team as well as Nuffy, so definitely know a lot of these players. And Painless, sorry, it's hard to read that name, but Painless already getting the bias going, knows where my name is a reference from, and that scores bonus points immediately.
Yeah, and getting a draft this time. A little bit of a mishap the first time, but we're back. Looking to see what these first bans are coming out.
Will be nothing from MG Waves, probably for the first one here.
They're going to be losing their first ban.
Yeah.
Like we stated before, they were just late. It happens. Sometimes people, their alarms don't go off. So they gotta they gotta come in late and lose a ban. But Thresh ban coming out for Primal Radiance. Solid ban in my opinion. That's really just like Thresh as a support is really diverse. He could go in, he can disengage. The Lantern's a very good safety tool. Yuumi and Yon ban's coming through too. Doesn't seem like anything too crazy. I would love to see more Yon.
Yeah, like I was mentioning, we have a big bot lane focus. All 4 of the 5 bans going straight to the bot lane. Caitlyn and Thresh from the side of PRR. And MG is going to take out Yuumi and Lux, assuming that's Lux support. Coconuts is known for playing that down in the bot lane. Tommy 2-Time, not much of a Lux player. Don't know if he's been watching Rutledge much, as MG Waves hovering the 2 remaining ADCs in the tier list, probably Ashe and Ezreal, and we'll probably see them lock in the Ashe here if I had to guess.
Yeah, I mean, banning away Caitlyn red side is like a must now because it's just too good to first pick right now. Ashe is pretty much the second up thing you want to first pick. It's just super safe, not that bot lane, not that the AD carry role matters too much in this meta, but it is nice to have that safe role that could still do something in these games where everyone kind of just explodes, right?
I don't know, man. I've been kind of hard carrying solo queue lately, and I don't know. Some of the talks in PRL have me rated pretty highly, but we'll move on from that. We'll see Karma locked in as likely the support response. Tommy, again, more of a control mage player, not really supportive mid laner. And I expect to see an Ezreal locked in as well, if I had to assume. It's kind of like the last remaining ADC has a pretty okay matchup into the Ashe. They'll be able to push them in constantly with the Karma, but no, they're actually going to pivot and take the Hecarim here, which leaves a lot of questions as to where that's going. Is it the top Hecarim or is it the jungle Hecarim?
I really actually like this Karma Hecarim duo, even if it's like not in the lanes together, not like mid jungle. If the Karma goes support and the Hecarim still goes jungle, I really like this little duo that they have going here. It's gonna be really hard to pin down this Hecarim when he's going so fast around these dragon fights.
Yeah, and speaking of flex picks, we have the Volibear locked in, very popular mid and top lane flex pick as well. Probably might be trying to mirror the Hecarim wherever that goes. And I do like Bard as a pick. I don't like it into the Karma matchup in bot lane personally.
No, I think Karma definitely wins out on that matchup. I mean, with the Q nerfs that Karma got, the higher cooldown, it'd be harder for her to poke out. This pick is what I'm more concerned about. Tristana coming through. Um,
Ooh, they're
you know,
going in bot lane.
Tristana did get buffs,
Pretty
but
big ones too.
that really makes me think you can flex the Tristana mid. So maybe Primal Radiance is going for this super flexy comp that you don't know
Mhm.
what they're gonna do.
You really
Uh,
don't. Yeah, Tristana could go ADC top or mid. Karma could go support mid or top as well. You have the Hecarim who's mid top. You know, I like what PRR is bringing to the table here in the draft already, but we'll see how they round it out, right? Because they're still lacking kind of that guaranteed way in. I mean, you can just run at them with Hecarim Karma, but that might not get you very far if Bard is on point.
yeah, you definitely need these next two picks you need to get rid of these flexes for the next two picks and just have solidified comp identity coming up, because if you're really just like picking all of these things that can do everything, you don't have any strengths, right?
And very quick bans in that second phase. Syndra and LeBlanc removed away from Arc, as we see the Kled and the Galio taken away from the side of PRR. And Peanut, last second lock-in, they are going to go with the Gnar. So this is something we haven't seen very much of. He is beginning a little bit of popularity back into the meta, as a lot of these more tanky, bruisery top laners are coming in. Gnar is that ranged threat that can also be this big team fight engager, but now that does guarantee Hecarim in the jungle, and possibly the bot lane already locked in. Ornn, I don't know if I like that matchup, though, into Gnar.
Ornn before the nerfs was pretty decent matchup in Gnar because he had a lot of burst. You just wait for Gnar to go tired for him, and you're able to burst him out pretty hard with your combo. That being said, these nerfs on Ornn, I'm not too sure if he's going to be able to out-sustain the Gnar, especially if Gnar goes Fleet Footwork, but we have an Amumu hover. I don't want to talk about it until it's locked in.
I don't think, yeah, that's what I figured. I figured they wouldn't go with the Amumu there. Probably something more stable, something more damage-oriented, and the Corki is the answer for possibly the blind pick in the mid lane. And very stable laner is going to be able to farm up and hit that 2-item, 3-item threshold now with the tier build. And with Ashe, pairs up for a lot of damage on this team. But I do notice that Ninja Tabis are going to be really nice to have on the tanks for the side of PRR this game.
Yeah, especially Hecarim and Gnar. You want to be building that Tabis. It's a lot of auto-attacking. The Sylas pick coming through. Okay.
Ooh,
I'm just going to take a second and just think about this for a second. So we have Sylas mid taking, there are a few ultimates that aren't too bad
the
here.
The one, the volley one, the Ashe arrow, maybe the Corki ults for poke.
Bard ult wouldn't be terrible.
Nah, you don't want Bard. It's why take Bard ult when you could take Ornn ult?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If Ornn's not in the vicinity, then maybe you could default to that. But
what I do like about the Sylas pick, though, is it gives us an opportunity for them to just have instant engage that their team was lacking. He can go and take, hey, we need instant engage now. I now have the Ornn ult, I have the Ashe ult, I have the Volibear ult, I have the Bard ult. I can force an engage for our team, and then we can just run you over with this Karma Hecarim Gnar coming out of the back line, right? And at the same time, Tristana is that super safe hyper carry that's always going to be a threat in the back line, should he not get too far behind. Some people are already flaming in chat. Where's the Tommy 2-time Azir?
You know, I was actually just about to bring that up too.
I would agree. That's, maybe that is a good point.
Azir's definitely probably the better pick here than Sylas. That being said, Volibear I feel like is a really good pick into if you're assuming the Azir is coming, because you can unstoppable the Azir ult, right? And once Azir uses his ultimate to push everyone away, if you're not pushed away, you kind of could just like lock down the bird, right? So I guess the Sylas pick is more safe. I really want to see early skirmishes in the jungle here from Primal Radiance. Gnar, Hecarim, and Sylas, they want to fight early because they have Gnar's range advantage, Sylas' healing advantage, and Hecarim has a lot of burst if he gets all three of his abilities up, right? We need to see early skirmishes coming out here for Primal Radiance. They need to end this game before 30 minutes because, I mean, if you look over at MG Waves, they scale pretty well.
Yeah, but I mean, the scaling on the side of Primal Radiance isn't necessarily poor, right? Tristana scales incredibly well, Sylas scales pretty well. It'll be interesting to see what build Gnar goes for, if he's more of the split push with the Black Cleaver, Frozen Mallet, full damage kind of style, or if he goes something more team fighty, maybe a Stone Plate or something in there. We'll have to see, but I mean, there's a lot of damage on Primal Radiance's side, but a lot of beef to get through on the side of that MG Waves comp.
Yeah, just looking at terms of like engagement tools, there's a lot of long-ranged engage from MG Waves, whereas it looks like looking at Primal Radiance, it's a lot of close range. So it's going to be hard to, I guess vision is going to be very important this game in terms of like making sure that your opponents don't know where you are until you're close enough to engage, right? Because I mean, MG Waves just has that distance advantage right now with their ultimates, and maybe even Corki with the package plays. These team fights are going to be pretty dangerous for Primal Radiance. They need to find their openings.
Yep. Let's talk a bit about the lane matchups, right? Obviously, the
Mhm.
Gnar is going to beat the Ornn. The Hecarim Volibear jungle is not something we see very often. Is there anything you can tell me about this matchup that you think is going to go either way?
So I know that Volibear, if he's going press the attack, has a lot of strong early game damage, right? Because Q, auto, W reset, instantly procs to PTA, assuming your lightning E goes off as well. It's gonna be a lot of burst, right? But Hecarim can get to these lanes faster. I think Hecarim has a faster clear with his Q rampage. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm really curious to see if, because Hecarim can get to these lanes to gank first, if that means that he's gonna win out on these trades. Um, that being said, I think that the lanes here for MG Waves are pretty safe. Corki has a really easy W that even if the Hecarim cancels it out, it'll, not be in the most favorable position to knock him back into the lane. Ornn has a lot of escape tools, the Unstoppable, and then Ash Bar just have slows on days, right? So it's really hard for Hecarim to gank. And I don't think you fight the Volibear.
Yeah, he's got to
So
find a way to get either into the bot lane or onto that Corki in mid, right? I mean, Gnar does have the slows, and you can kind of combo down this Ornn, because once his W's on cooldown, you're free to knock him back and knock him around, because Ornn isn't going to be doing too much back to you early, especially with the, nerf after nerf after nerf after nerf, and we still see Ornn as this premier tank in the top lane. We started seeing Maokai for a little bit up there, and he still got, little murmurs of like, hey, there's a tree, but nobody's willing to commit to that Maokai pick. And it always just kind of defaults back to, well, you could pick Maokai or you could pick Ornn and have more damage, right? And, that does open you up into counter picks like this, albeit they picked it into the Gnar, which is interesting from my view. And, I don't think you really had to pick it into Gnar. I think there's a lot of other options you could have gone with. But quick load in. Looks like we don't have any toasters today. We'll be hopping right into this game number 1 for the day of Primal Radiance versus MG Waves.
yeah, taking a quick look. We didn't get a lot of time to look at the summoner spells. Ignite on this Tristana bot, heal on the Karma.
Whoa!
Yeah, they're looking to fight, right? Press the attack on the Volibear, and then really what I wanted to look at up top was Grasp on Gnar. This Gnar is really expecting to really outdo these trades with the Ornn. So it's really on this Gnar to win his lane, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even something I might want to see here, if the Gnar ends up getting ahead, is maybe a Blade of the Ruined King build. I very much like that item, especially Bork and a Cleaver, if you're ahead only. I don't think it's a good first buy.
I think you do lose a lot of value on Gnar specifically with that item, just because you are primarily a ranged champion, so you're not getting as much damage from it. However, it is an interesting decision. We'll see what he ends up going with here. But like you mentioned, the Grasp, really good. You're going to be able to get easy procs in this matchup top lane. Ornn's not going to have an easy time doing it. I'm surprised Ornn didn't favor for something more like a spell book or something, since, it's going to be very rare that he actually gets to proc his actual Grasp of the Undying on this Gnar, unless Gnar, is mispositioning in this ranged matchup. So
yeah,
we'll have to wait and see, as it seems like Hecarim is just going to be starting with a leashed blue buff instead of starting something like the Raptors.
Yeah, solid 5 points coming out for both teams, and then just doing the typical bot lane leash. I wonder if they're going to go for, if either of these two junglers are going to full clear, or if they're just going to just quickly do their, buff Gromp, and then go gank, right?
And like you're mentioning, Hecarim, we're already seeing does clear a little bit quicker. Possibly a bit better leash from the bot side there for the side of MG Waves, but we'll see how this wave evens out by the time they both meet up in top side, since both junglers looking to get some full clear on. Hecarim actually coming back down bot to clear his Gromp, or maybe look for a level 2 play in the bot lane even. Things might get spicy early with that Ignite Tristana.
Yeah, the wave set up just fine. They're going to beat them to level 2 too.
This is behind him too. There's no ward. This is going to be a gank for sure. And we'll see how this play goes. Come on, Hecarim, just go. Just go. Commit. He waited too long. Now they backed off from the wave, and they're going to get good damage onto the Bard. Ignite comes down, but not enough damage to take him down. He'll just be chunked to about 1/3 HP and get away from that one with his summoners.
Flash and Exhaust burned on the Bard there. A small win there for Primal Radiance if the Hecarim can get back to his buff in time. He is going to be a little bit behind the Volibear in the clear speed, obviously, because he took the time to gank. So you know, I'm looking for him to probably just give up that top scuttle and then go for the bot one if he wants to stay ahead of farm.
Does lose out on a lot of tempo there, unfortunately, and see how he can make up that with his clear speed. And you know, we'll see what Volibear can do with this opportunity. You know, does he opt for going for the scuttle fight here, knowing he's going to be probably up, you know, a camp or two, or does he have to wait it out? As we do see Corki getting the early mid prio on the Sylas, so should be a free scuttle crab on the top side of it. Ash a little bit far forward here. Peanut not willing to commit the jump on that one, so. And like you're mentioning, not too much surprisingly out of the runes here. Conqueror Hecarim is what you'd expect. Press the attack volley is a little interesting over something like Conqueror, or even like maybe a phase rush is what we see very often from these tank junglers nowadays. But again, pretty standard across the board. Early gank doesn't pan out, and now we're back to just full clearing across the side as Hecarim actually going all the way up to clear his entire jungle here, and is spotted out on a good ward by that. I don't know who placed that. Possibly the Ornn, possibly the volley.
It was the Volibear. He just walked up and placed that nice ward there. He's going to double scuttle the Hecarim too. As we can see, this is something that, you know, if you're going to do an early gank, you're going to have to trade off these scuttles. And unfortunately, he had to give up both. So this Volibear is ahead in the farm, probably ahead in XP as well. And the extra vision in the river is going to give more safety for his team.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a pathing mistake, if you ask me, from the Hecarim here. Is, you know, he's going to try to force a gank on top side, but they have so much vision up on that top side. They're just going to see him completely. He's going to come down, see there's no scuttle, look for an invade, there's nothing there, possibly just get a deep ward, but he doesn't have any wards, so see what Hecarim ends up doing. Gets the pink ward down to the blue buff, and in the end, I mean, big advantages early for this Volibear, who's already up 3 camps, including those 2 scuttles.
Yeah, and if you're MG Waves, this is exactly what you want. You want to stall the game out till you guys are strong, right? You want to wait till your item spikes. You want to wait for your moment to shine, right? This is an early game comp coming out here from Primal Radiance, and they're not getting the kills like they're going for right now. This might be desperate.
So we do see Primal Radiance just getting a bit of a bad trade there, and the top side's not going any better as Ornn getting better this one on the Gnar. Trades back with some of that range damage, but misses the boomerang and won't get any damage back and has to reset here. But I mean, you're seeing already just across the board CS differences, you know, for every lane except for mid. And, you know, it's not exactly what you want to see from a team that's taking Ignite, Tristana, and level 2 ganking with Hecarim. Good stun from the Bard here, but not going to result in much as Peanut just takes an auto attack trade just to knock that off. Now the junglers might be meeting in the bot side here. Hecarim running down into this lane and decides better of it again. Just going to clear out the ward, and you know, already a full level behind in the jungle. It's Hecarim's got to get to farming at some point in this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we said earlier. These lanes from MG Waves are hard to gank. It is difficult to get these ganks off. You know, the only real one that the Hecarim sees it. You know, I mean, bot lane's the only one that you can really gank. But even then, it's hard to get into there and get that charge knockback back into the lane for your team to capitalize on it.
Tommy 2-Time ended up, or sorry, not Tommy 2-Time, but Arc ended up going with the tier first item in the mid lane. One of the few people that will opt into the tier first, actually, just because his mana costs are so high, and he has an easy time just throwing out spells to clear waves anyways. So see if he can get to that early mana Mune and start getting that stacked up, as looks like they're trying to get priority on this dragon. They do know Sylas recalled, but Sylas does have a lot more power here with a lost chapter into a tier. I think right now level 6 is when you want to look for Tommy 2-Time to make a play on this roam, but looks like they're just going to be seeding this early Infernal Dragon over to the side of MG Wave.
Yeah, and it didn't really need to set anything up for this. It's just the jungle matchup is just so different right now that you just get this dragon, right? Like, Mayamo Tiene is just completely out-farming this Hecarim, out-leveling this Hecarim, and even can take objectives while doing it.
And Ark had a good job probably just calling out, hey, Sylas backed. We can look here as now Peanut going to jump in on this play, going to get exhausted down. He's going to get the full stacked bomb onto Great Scruff, who's rooted down by coconuts, and now the trade comes back the other way. The slow's coming through. Ash has a lot of damage here, but doesn't have very much mana, and ooh, Bardstone just misses. Now Peanut jumping back in, flash away and heal from the Ash. Will they look to dive? No, Painless just saying hello. And now 2 levels behind Painless. You got to farm at some point in this game, man. You're almost down. You're down 20 CS in the jungle. You've gotten 3 scuttled already and lost the first dragon. You got to get some camps taken, man.
Oh, a solid trade coming here from Gnar. If I'm Gnar, I'm going in on this.
Nestalapo's looking for this play. Has to be careful of the Ornn damage. Going to flash forward and forces the flash out of the Ornn in response. We don't see any ults burn either way. Sylas looking for a trade on the mid lane. has stolen those Corki rockets. I believe he does get the full stack of 7.
Really?
Yes, he does get all 7 rockets, I believe.
I didn't know that.
I'm not 100% sure, and I can double check real quick. But
that is crazy if that's true.
So South gets quite a few rockets out of that one. I'm gonna go pull back a bit and check this. Yeah, he gets to build towards a big one at least. I know he at least gets 3.
I thought it was 3, but yeah.
Let's get some good value. It might just be 3, but gets good value out of the Corki ultimate as we focus back on the live play. Gnar continuing to trade on this top side and get the better of this matchup, as you'd expect, but is behind by about, a handful of CS here, and we'll see if that changes, as it looks like he's moving towards the Black Cleaver first item, and so not quite the fully offensive thing you'd like to see, as Bard just kind of probably grabbing a chime and tunneling out, as Peanut jumping in now, gets slowed by the Bilgewater Cutlass and takes a worse end of a trade here, as now they're trying to invade onto this blue buff. Gnar's going to get stunned through. Here comes the Orin Horn. It's going to get the knockup on Snoobopoulos, who finds a double stun, throws the Volibear into the wall. He's so low, but ults away, and they're going to win this trade hands down. Painless, very low, running away. He's not going to escape. Sulopoulos already taken down, and it's going to be a double kill for the Volibear here. And, that early disadvantage going from bad to worse. Tommy2Time trying to make up for the situation, trying to find a kill of his own, trying to chase down the Volibear. As down on the bot side, they're also fighting. Peanut's getting stunned down. He's getting slowed up by the Ashe. He's got nowhere to go. And now the TP's coming down to try to salvage this situation. That's Tommy2Time heading down here, as well as Sulopoulos. Can they find a kill into the Ashe? No summoner spells available. She'll go down certainly, as Solus gets the kill. And we'll get a double himself on the backside of this, salvaging that mediocre bot lane trade.
Yeah, really strange play from Bang Bus Driver to walk back there. He was fine, and then he just walked back to his death. I mean, 2 kills in the Gnar now, evening out that top side of the map a little bit. But man, this jungle matchup is just getting harder and harder to watch. 10 minutes in, still level 5 on this Hecarim. He really needs to get that farm up.
Yeah, and Volibear just, already that full level ahead of Hecarim. Hecarim will probably hit level 6 off of this camp here finally. And, we'll see how this goes, as, big kill's back, but still 1,000 gold is the deficit. Second dragon coming up in about a minute and a half here will be a mountain dragon. We'll have to see where the priority lies on these teams there. You are starting to hit those item break points for some members. Tommy's probably getting close to that Luden's Echo, unless he's going the GOP this game. And Gnar, with those double kills, gets really close to that Black Cleaver, and we'll see if he has that in time for the dragon, or if he's even going to be able to roam down now that he's at a TP disadvantage.
Yeah, and you can see both support items not finished yet. It is pretty early for both those to get going. I think Spelthies is probably one of the quickest items that you can stack. But it does seem like Karma needs to increase her poking a little more. I think both of them are about like 50 to 100 away, so no extra vision yet for this next drag fight. Still kind of blind, but I mean, you can use the Ashe Hawk Shot, right, to gain insight on where Hecarim is with the gank here.
As we see the gank on the mid lane, Tommy just gonna get the damage through with the chains. The Abscond Abduct gonna get some trade back. Kingslayer is going to keep him healthy in this lane, and he's not too worried about that as he stays within 10 CS of this Corki. We'll see if he can start to scale up as we start seeing the trades go a little bit more in favor of Gnar, but still a level behind, still behind by about 15 CS now if Orin can clean these up in the tower. And great job by Polar Bear Minion here in this disadvantaged matchup. Said, what, give me the Orin into this, I'll be fine, I'll scale up, and I'll be relevant for these team fights.
Yeah, I definitely, this next team fight's really going to solidify who's going to take the lead in this game. I think this next dragon's going to be where we decide, who's playing from behind, who's playing from ahead, and we'll see how those teams play with that. But we have an ult here. Ooh!
Oh, good damage by Gnar. Probably not going to have enough to take him down here, but does threaten to keep him out of the fight, as now the package is used just to get away. Hecarim, the unstoppable onslaught, not going to find the Corki as he packages out just in the nick of time. And great trade by Tommy2Time there in the mid lane with that Hextech GOB finished up. But what can they do about the dragon? Orin is on the reset. He's probably going to TP in here, and it's going to be a 4v5. But Peanut's looking to make it a 4v4 as he jumps right into Great Scrub. Gets the big damage down. Has to flash away. The heal isn't enough as Peanut gets the ultimate. The Buster Shot on the way out. Finds the kill with the Ignite. And now Bang Bus Driver's in trouble. Volibear roaming down here, trying to salvage the situation. As now, at best, it's going to be a 4v4 for the dragon. And that's a huge play out of the Primal Radiance bot lane to try to secure this objective.
Yeah, very nice look from Peanut there, knowing that he has the damage to kill that Ashe, even through the heal with the Ignite Summoner spell. Honestly, just a really good look from him, and honestly, kind of kept his team back in the game here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the dragon stopping the stacks, really nice to do. You do see the clown dragon coming up next, so it'll be a clown soul this game. So a little bit lower party in the dragons, and now we see Solapos in a dangerous situation. Polymermanian finds the knockup with the Oran Horn, gets stunned up, and now Solapos gets the grass peeling and tries to run away. Does get slowed up by that pillar, and will have to flash out. And Polymermanian is winning another trade on top side and solidifying his lead up here.
Yeah, if you're Gnar, you really want that Black Cleaver done as soon as possible. Being able to negate the armor on this Oran is, something you really want. Okay, he does finish the Black Cleaver. Extra cooldown, right, on the Q. Pretty much what you want, right? He has the Bramble Vest, so any autos are hurting you back, but if your Q is up more, it's not hurting you as much, right?
Mm-hmm. Has a longsword and a Negatron cloak, so we'll see what he goes into here. I'm going to guess that's going to be Merc Treads this game. Got a lot of magic damage across the board. Oran has some, Volley has a little bit, Corki and Bard, obviously. But we'll have to see what he ends up building his second item here. The extra longsword means he's going a little bit more offensive, but I don't think it'll quite be that Blade of the Ruin King build you were mentioning.
No, if he's going a standard Gnar build here, it's most likely going to be the Frozen Mallet. Mm-hmm. That being said, Sterix is an option. I don't think you build Sterix second, though.
No,
especially on Gnar. It'd be more of a third item, yeah. Could be going for that Jarm's Fist, though, to get that passive stacking. But we have another gank here.
Volibear over on the top side. Doesn't find the hop onto the minion and is going to try to just slow up the Volibear. Does dodge out on the pillar and is going to keep running. Solapos trying to get that Narbar stacked up. Can he get it stacked up in time? Hecarim is here. There's the unstoppable onslaught, and Volibear, no chance to ult with the fear, is going to give the shutdown over to the Gnar. And a huge gank here by Payless pays off as now Porymermanian is on the run. Is going to get knocked back. Is going to get stunned up by the Gnar. Gets a lot of damage. Snarred into the wall. And he throws that satellite at him to secure the kill here. 2 more kills onto this Gnar. And Primal Radiance with a great turnaround in this game.
Yeah, amazing counter gank there from Painless. And honestly, amazing job from Solus from surviving that gank and staying alive long enough. If you saw, his boomerang perfectly hit the Ornn and then redirected into the Volibear to slow him so he didn't get that gank off earlier in the lane. Honestly, could be luck, but I'm going to say it was all skill.
Perfectly baited by the top laner, as always. I know how those feel. As now we see Tommy 2Time looking for a play on the bot side here. They got to be careful. Silas, the completed item, does a lot of damage if he gets his full combo off, and he can always steal that Ashe ult as well to make this play happen. The level 11 Silas getting this advantage of the mid lane now is a little bit behind in CS, but being behind in experience is where you want to be at this point in the game.
Yeah, we know that they Herald charged mid, so that middle turret is low. They should be getting back to lane. Try not to make sure that they get the first turret on this bot side of the map, right? You have this Tristana. Tristana's known for it, but we have a gank here, actually.
That's getting caught out here. Trying to go for the insect there. Gets the kill onto Coconuts is great stuff. Now he's running away from this play. Is ignited down. Solapos going to get a kill on the backside here. As now Tommy 2Time also TPing down. They're probably going to get a second kill onto the Bard here. Bangmas Driver nowhere to go. A third double kill this game for Solus. As now they're going to look to pressure onto this objective here. Going to collapse on the Volibear. Chase that Tristana too far. Gnar on the wrong side of this. And we'll see what they want to do. Tommy steals the Volibear ult. Let's see if he wants to dive with this. And he's posturing, but not quite going to commit to that one. Despite stealing the Stormbreaker, doesn't quite want to die. Ooh, Solapos looking for the Gnar there. Arc with a good dodge out of that. The Valkyrie keeping him safe. As no other action comes through, but another great counterplay from Primal Radiance. They will lose the top turret in response, but that's just going to match the one they already got, and they'll stick with about a 500 to 1,000 gold lead here.
Yeah, first turret we saw going down top side. A lot of gold going over to Primal Radiance here, even from that bad early game that they had. Hecarim slowly starting to catch up back in the farm. But yeah, this Volibear hasn't been making too many successful ganks off in the past few minutes. I really want to see something happen here, something go on around the mid lane, right? Because that tower is just so low. You want to open up the mid side of the map so that your Corki can roam, right?
Mm-hmm. We have some big item completions coming through. Corki still working on his Triforce, but Hecarim is a recall away from having Triforce completed here himself. So Hecarim will start being a real damage threat onto this back line, and they'll start being able to actually finish his jungle items, start getting tankier in this matchup for his team. Now that third dragon is coming up in about 25 seconds here. We'll see if they can get back onto the map quickly enough. Coconut should be able to escort them with that mantra to shield here to inspire the team and get them back onto the rift. But we'll see what play they want to make around here. These double teleports have been crucial to winning the game from Primal Radiance. But what can they do while they're on cooldown? Last time we had Peanut making a big play himself to secure the dragon. And this time it looks like they're just going to look for the 4v4 and bring Gnar down the long way. Primal Radiance is here first. They layer the pink wards on. We'll see if they start up this objective here at 18 minutes.
You can see extra scryers around the map because it is an Ocean Soul game. Extra movement speed, able to get to that dragon faster. You have Gnar in the mid lane, currently pushing the wave in. Probably building up his Mega too. Actually, he's tired for him right now. I mean, if you're MG Waves, you want to look for a fight.
Yeah, you want to look at this MG Waves, and they are going to look for a big ultimate from Bard here, followed up by the Oran Horn. Painless goes down without a whimper, and Tommy goes right onto the package and goes on himself. A huge knockup onto the AD carry and the support from Polar Bear Minion, and this fight is a wash from the beginning. Gnar's gonna try to save it, gets so much damage, but the boulder toss is blocked, and he's blocked down as well. Shut down onto the Gnar. It's a 4-for-0 fight, and the Dragon surely going the way of the side of MG Waves.
Yeah, amazing look from MG Waves. They knew the Gnar was tired. You know, this is our chance to get in. This Gnar is your only damage threat, being 6-1, now 6-2. All of the gold is on this Gnar. So why not fight when he's at his weakest, right? Like, an amazing look. Exactly what we want to be doing if you're MG Waves throughout these fights. Nice Bard ult too from Bang Bus, knocking down the 2 carries. The package just layering on top of him. You saw he packaged in and then W'd right back out just to get that Rumble ult-like damage on them.
Yeah, just to double layer that real quick, you know, get a little bit of an extra burn. And Tommy just went right onto that with the Abscond and had no way out of it. Got burned down real quickly, but now Bard's getting caught out here. Forced to use the exhaust, is going to tunnel through. Tommy's not going to chase, just going to take about half his HP. And, you know, I love seeing me some good Bard gameplay, and every good tempered fate deserves praise. And fantastic job from Bang Bus Driver to secure that dragon. And, you know, now they're back in the lead of this game by about 1,000 gold as Peanut is going to take that bot lane turret with the Tristana. Got to be careful leaving her in the soul lane. She will melt those turrets. As item completion's coming through on the bot laners. Ashe looks like she's working halfway in between items here. Not quite sure what she's going for. Maybe it's the S3 per second as Arc possibly in a little bit of danger here. He's going to get slowed up. Volibear here to just escort him back to the tower. And no more action to be had here as Baron is now spawned and no more Shellys in the game.
You know, I got to commend Primal Radiance here looking for these plays even when they just lost this team fight. You know, they're not saying we're not going to lull around and let you guys scale up. We're still going to be making these plays. We know that we're stronger right now if we play to our strengths, right? This Mega Gnar is really what they're looking for to carry them in these games. The Tristana is a great source to bust down the turrets and clear waves, but I mean, that's all it really is right now, right?
And all 6 kills going over to that Gnar is going to have to be huge in these fights and does do a lot of damage. As turret going to be very low, about 1 hit away, and Tristana's just going to be backing off of this one. They're not going to commit for it as Tommy, just going to poke away with those rockets consistently. I did check when he stole that ultimate. He does get all 7 shots from a fully loaded Corki, so actually a significant amount of damage that comes out of that, especially once he starts finishing likely the Leandri second. Please don't build Morellos, Tommy. You're better than that. And we'll see as they look to secure this turret. 1 more hit will do it. There it is. And they'll certainly back off and probably take their resets now.
And you gotta be wondering, what did that Bard ult on the turret really do if it was gonna go down in 30 seconds anyway? Because now your Bard ult's down. You can't look for picks on it for another minute at least. I don't know who called that play. Personally, I don't think it was the most optimal. But
maybe you look for a pick off of the turret, you know, try to catch them overextending forward on their own. You know, maybe you throw it out, you know, on the back line, try to catch somebody out. But either way, not the longest cooldown. Just stalls out the game a little bit longer for their team in the end of things. And, you know, maybe stalls the resets a bit for the sake of MG Waves.
Yeah, we see finally this Triforce being completed by the Corki here. This is where Corki starts to take over. The Muramana completed. Frozen Mallet coming out from the Gnar, like we were talking about. We're really looking at this Corki and this Gnar right now to be the main sources of damage for these teams.
Yeah, Corki is one of those rare champions in the game where every single item completion just makes him so much stronger, especially with the Mana Moon build now. Every time he's picking up a completed item, he is just the next tier stronger than your opponents, right? He does not fall off. There's no item that you hate to build on him. You're just building constantly powerful item after powerful item. I'd love to see the Infinity Edge picked up next. Maybe the Fire Cannon if his income's a little bit down before the next fight. They really need that win. But we'll have to wait and see how much gold he's sitting on now. You know, just finished up the Triforce himself, so we'll be pumping out a lot of damage in the upcoming team fights and is maintaining a good CS per minute here.
Yeah, I would say with how much he's CSing right now, he's probably no problem with money currently. 22 minutes is pretty early for a Triforce and a Muramana at the same time. So
Well,
for the
I mean,
for the state of the game, he is very strong, and he's only going to get stronger.
So right around where we want to be is right at that 20-minute mark for getting those 2 items completed, and especially at a mid lane Corki where bit of a rough matchup in a Silas. You can kind of farm, but you're kind of at risk of getting ganked and pressured because Silas always has that knee jerk engage onto you with the Abscon and Abduct. So watch to see how much damage you can dish out in these fights. If he is caught out though, they're missing a lot of damage because Ashe is not known to 1v19 fights. It says has the extra BF sword here, but is going to finish the Renan the second. So very questionable pivot in my opinion to buy the BF sword there, but could have already had Renan's finished and in time for this fight on the dragon, which is spawning in 5 seconds now, as we do get the Ornn ult stolen for the first time for Tommy 2-Time, and that could be what they need to win this fight as they're posturing around this dragon. Mega Gnar is already used here, so they probably don't want to start this off for a little bit, but we'll see if they know that, if they're communicating effectively, or if they're just going to start it up raw.
Hey, you gotta remember, playing around this Gnar timer, both teams are playing around it right now. If you're MG Waves, you want it to be down. If you're Primal Radiance, oh, there it is.
Corki TP onto the bot side. They're going to look for the engage here. Tommy 2-Time throws out the Ornn himself. Unstoppable Onslaught running away, but the package is going to catch him out. Great Scruff now running away from himself. Gets bursted down by Tommy 2-Time. We have trades across the board. Tommy 2-Time very low. Flashes that away as Peanut shoots the Buster Shot, knocking away the enemy Ornn. Can they get the kill here? Not enough sustain with the Kingslayer. As now Corki on the backside. Going to get chased down by Tristana. Just enough damage. Peanut staying alive, but walks right back into the Ornn and gets taken down as Polar Bear Minion finds the kill. Coconuts is left out to dry. It's a double kill for Polar Bear Minion, and they're going to secure the dragon again, arguably off of some crucial mistakes there from Primal Radiance.
Yeah, mispositioning from Peanut there. If he played that fight slower, didn't go as hard on the Corki as he did, that fight could have went in their favor. You see that Corki did pressure away the Gnar from that team fight where they were all grouped up together, preventing that big Gnar ult. But yeah, I mean, solid fight from MG. I would argue is more of a mispositioning from Primal Radiance, though, and they get the 3rd dragon, so they're threatening soul point.
Yeah, looking to engage without your 6-2 Gnar in the fight yet. Looks like he's going for a Wit's End 3rd item. Interesting flex. I love the item. I don't know if I love it in this certain situation, but, does, give you a little bit of resistances against the Corki burst, and against the Ornn in the side lane, reduces the Thorn damage, so maybe it's the tech that they need to start winning the side lane matchup harder, but I mean, you have a 6-2 Gnar. You need to be winning the side lane and pressuring turrets. We'll see if they get a play into the Corki here, but it doesn't look like it. Looks like Painless just gonna, again, decide against these plays, and I feel like you need to be forcing something with this Hecarim if you're gonna be running Ghost in these fights.
Yeah, you saw last fight, the Hecarim just going right out. Oh, we have an engage.
Like I said, forcing something dives right onto the Corki here. Is getting chunked out very quickly, and it's going to be 1-for-1 trade here as Tristana will pick up the kill. But what can they do off of this? Corki is a lot of the damage, but they're going to lose a turn on the bot side, and they're going to turn towards the Baron here. See if they start it up. Very risky decision without the jungler. They are going to start it here. Ash Arrow is on Tommy 2-Time here, and they have no idea what's going on here, but they are just going to back off. Again, I don't know why you're backing off if you don't even see them, posturing towards you. Arrow comes out, finds the Ashe, and the Bartle is going to be Tempered Fate in response. Great Scuff caught out again and taken down again by Peanut. Not the greatest game for him on the Ashe, but a fantastic Crystal Arrow there from Tommy 2-Time. And now most certainly they're going on the Baron.
Yeah, you definitely want to be looking now, especially with the 4v5 with both junglers up this time. However, that Corki does have a lot of damage. He is coming back into this fight. We have a pick here.
Oh, another pick found as Tommy 2-Time secures the kill on the Bang Bus Driver. And now in a 3v5, no package available for the Corki. Baron almost certainly going to be going to the side of Primal Radiance here. It'll have to be a big steal from the Volibear. They're going to look for the turn here. Ornhorn sent out. They're going to knock up just the Gnar as now Solus hopping in. Big knock onto the back line, and the combo with the Volibear takes down Painless immediately. Can they turn this fight yet again? Peanut knocking with the Buster Shot, but Corki walks up and smashes through the Tristana. Can they take out this Corki? They're so low on damage. Abscond, Abduct, not going to find its target as now Arc just walking in on his own. 1v3 forcing them off. And can he do more here? Just keeps pressuring them back as now Primal Radiance is on the back foot. And, MG Waves gets the shot at the Baron.
Yeah, another poor team fight there again from Primal Radiance, not targeting the right chair. But we have a pick here.
Color Fountain's gonna be a big burst on the Arc. Gonna get the kill again at a Tommy 2 time, who just stays a little bit too long there. And now I'll take it back. It's gonna be MG Waves securing the Baron here.
Great Scruff getting a little bit of payback there. So you enchanted arrow me, I enchanted arrow you back. But now they're getting this Baron.
All they have is a chance with the unstoppable onslaught over the wall. Can Painless redeem himself this game and steal the Baron? 1k health. Oh, down to 100. Just a little bit early on the smite there was Painless, and in the end, it's a 5-man Baron buff for the side of MG Waves, and they're gonna have such a good time sieging with this buff.
Yeah, especially with this Corki here. Sieging is not going to be too difficult for them. There is hard dive coming out from Primal Radiance that we see, but if you could just siege properly, right, they shouldn't have any problem avoiding these dives, avoiding these flanks that this Hecarim and the Silas want to get off. I do want to say, Vision has been something that they've been taking advantage of. You saw the Ashe getting caught out mid and the Bard right after, right here with this Corki as the blue buff. They gotta make sure their vision's solid before they walk in blind, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, looking at some of the things across the board, maybe Painless should be changing his name to Payless because he should get some boots and some shoes in here, as he's still running on those brown bags as Hecarim. You know, one of the champions who requires boots to be effective in the game. I don't know why you still have unupgraded shoes at 30 minutes in, but we shall see if, you know, they can still come back in this game. Now 5,000 gold deficit. Soul point coming up in 30 seconds here. And there's going to be a Corki package available. Has the upgraded Trinity Force as well for this fight. It's looking really rough for the side of Primal Radiance.
Upgraded Trinity Force and the Infinity Edge finally completed another cloak. He's nearing that 100% crit. This is terrifying.
Yes. He's at 40, but or 45, I believe. If I remember correctly. Yep. But still very high damage onto the Corki. So we'll have to wait and see how this ends up going. Hecarim just going to clear out some wards here. Going to try to find his way. Maybe try to find a steal here. Honestly, I think you can give up the Cloud Soul and you look to contest her on the Elder. Because if you lose the team fight worse enough here, the game will just end with this Baron buff as Arc solo pushing in the mid lane turret, forcing 3 back.
Yeah, and I mean,
use the package to get away. Arc gonna burst down Peanut. Buster shot not enough. Dodges out on the Hecarim ult as well. The unstoppable onslaught. As the Crystal Arrow finds the Tristana. Is certainly gonna go down as Great Scruff finds the kill. Ornn ult stolen back as Tommy 2 can't find anything with that one. And another pick for the side of MG Waves as they look to push in on this base.
Yeah, just a very good re-engage here. The Corki package getting him out. You saw a lot of damage from that Tristana though, but just wasn't enough. Even with the full combo.
I mean, he just didn't get enough autos on there. He wasn't in range and wasn't pumping out the damage there. Maybe he didn't have the Q available to him for the attack speed, but I mean, unfortunately, we'll have to wait and see if Primal Radiance can do anything here. Gnar now not available. Certainly, they're just going to push in and take the tower here and probably the inhib as well. Porky, meanwhile, pushing on the bot side. They might look for 2 inhibs or the end of the game here as they're just forcing them back into their own base.
At this point, there's really nothing. Oh, we have a player.
Ooh, Prime. And the Bard not going to find anything, but the stun, he's going to get the kill. They're going to get a double there early on. Peanut's forced out. Crystal Arrow secures the last hit. Soulless goes down. It's a double kill for the Ashe. Make it a triple kill? No. Yes, a triple kill for the Ashe. As now MG Waves will end the game on these turrets. A fantastic performance from them in the mid game to win these fights. And that's going to be the game going to MG Waves.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the Gnar pick early here in this game. You saw how effective it was. Double kill after double kill, right? But when it came to those mid-game, late-game team fights, it is kind of easy to play around that Gnar. Unless you're getting that flank, you're being proactive with the Gnar, right?
What happened to the double teleport plays? They were so good early on, and we didn't see it for the rest of the game. We didn't see any flanking teleports from the Gnar or the Silas. They just tried to straight up 5v5 them, and I mean, you're not going to win that fight against Ashe Corki and double frontline.
Yeah, and I'm trying to look at some of the stats here. I did see solid vision score coming out of Bang Bus Driver on this Bard, but I just want to get an exact number.
Both Poros cheating, by the way. I think it was over 70 last time I checked. Volibear had also had a very high vision score himself that game. But yeah, a lot of damage coming out of the Corki. We see 10k above the rest of his teammates. Tommy Two Time trying to match that total. Him and Nar doing a lot of damage themselves, but in the end, just wasn't enough. And I mean, we'll see how Primal Radiance can bounce back. We do have them for another game here right after this, so see if they can bounce back and win their second one here. But I mean, they had flashes of brilliance in that game. They had some really good moments there. Peanut was doing some good things in the bot lane, getting some solo kills. But in the end, the comp of MG Waves was just better executed on their part in the mid game.
Yeah, we see 90 vision score here on the Bard. Solid vision score from Bang Bus, but if you're Primal Radiance, was it the comp? Was it how he played the game? I feel like they played the double teleports early really well. And then when they got behind, it's almost like they tried to change their style, right? It wasn't the plays that they were making that got them behind, right? It was just unfortunate counter engages that they weren't planning on. I think they should have stuck to that double teleport, get in those side lanes, and continue farming. I think Solis should have probably went for a more carry role once he hit that 6-1. I think if you're Primal Rage looking this next game, again, try not to let this game hurt you too much. Yes, it's a loss, but yes, you can bounce back, right? It's a very early beginning of the season. They are going up against Crow Gaming, right?
That should be a rough one. Crow's, also coming off a loss last night against PS Black, so we'll see if they can bounce back. So one of these teams is going to be getting their first win after this break, but we'll see what they end up doing. As I think we're going to head to a quick break ourselves for about 10 minutes till the next game gets started. So we will see you guys then.